Hi friends, I'm Chelsea Grayson coming to you once again from the Office of the CEO. This is my show where I can help you be more successful in your current career, and I can also help you successfully transition to a new career. Today I wanted to talk to you about this idea that has been very successful for me in my career path, that you should always conduct yourself as if you're on a job interview. Meaning whether it's a job interview with your current organization, so that's a promotion or maybe a lateral shift at your company, or maybe it's a job interview for a different organization, so a totally different job at a different place. Somebody is always watching, somebody is always evaluating, somebody is always making decisions on your future career path based on what you're doing. So you should carry yourself in that way. That is the demeanor that you should have at all times, as if you are interviewing for something better in your career path. And I want to give you a couple of quick anecdotes from my own career just to sort of illuminate what I'm talking about. So first is an anecdote about how I was promoted from the general counsel position at American Apparel to the CEO position at American Apparel. So because I spent the first 20 years of my career as a lawyer, I was a partner at Jones Day, as I've talked about on previous episodes, I was recruited initially to American Apparel to be the general counsel. And so just normally you'd come in and you'd do your legal work, and that is a really big job, and especially that company, that was a very big job because we were in a liquidity crisis, we had a corporate culture crisis ongoing. I've talked about that in previous episodes as well. It became really obvious to me once I joined that in order to do my job most successfully and to do the best job for the company overall, I was going to have to reach across the aisle, and I was going to have to really learn the business and operations of the company and work with the business folks in order to really facilitate the success of the company. And I did just that. And the board started to take note, and then they formally gave me 3 business units to put under my belt. So in addition to legal, I also ran 3 business units. And then I thought, just to reward me, they gave me an additional business title. It was my first business title, Chief Administrative Officer. And so I went about the whole first year that I was the general counsel of the company with those 3 business units under me, with the additional title of Chief Administrative Officer, never realizing that at the end of that year, when we negotiated to take the company private with Goldman Sachs and the other hedge funds, that they would come to me, which indeed they did, and they said, look, we've been watching, we see you hold your own with the business folks. You had great fundamentals in terms of business acumen, and you've developed and honed your business chops over the course of the first year. We see how the business folks respond to you and that they respect you as a peer, not just as the in-house lawyer at the company. And we'd like to promote you to the CEO position. So I had no idea that eyeballs had been on me in that way. I just thought I was going about my business the whole first year, and I was just trying to do the very best job I could. But it turned out that they actually were thinking about me the whole time as a potential next CEO of the company. And I proved myself, and that's how I was promoted to become the CEO of American Apparel. Now, had I at any moment shied away from taking on those additional responsibilities, had I sort of relaxed in the position, had I maybe not stretched and taken on those additional responsibilities because I was just happy being the general counsel, things might have gone a different way, and they might have hired someone from outside of the organization. So that's one example. That was a 1-year-long interview process as it turned out. And the second example I wanted to give you guys is how I ended up being the CEO of True Religion. So after I got done with my tenure as the CEO of American Apparel, which was because I sold the company to Gildan, which is another big public company, Goldman Sachs came to me. They had been one of the big owners of American Apparel. They came to me and said, well, that went great. Listen, we also own True Religion. We'd like for you to come over and sit on the board of directors there. Great. I went over to sit on the board of directors of True Religion. I'm from Los Angeles. It's a Los Angeles headquartered fashion company. Seemed like another perfect fit for me and another good thing to put on my resume. Well, what I didn't realize throughout the course of that whole first year is that once again, that was a job interview. So I did my very best on that board. I chaired the audit committee. I took on additional responsibilities, really got to know the company very well, visited headquarters frequently, went to a lot of the events that they threw. And at the end of the year, they approached me and said, hey, listen, deja vu all over again. We'd like for you to drop in as the new CEO of True Religion. So again, I was really just trying to do the best job that I could over the first year as a board member. But it turned out that they were evaluating me the whole time to see how well is she getting to know the company? How is management responding to her? What is she doing to contribute to sort of a transformation of this company into, whether it's digital or whether thinking about a change in product? And can she be someone who actually leads this company rather than just sitting on the board and overseeing management? So I really want you guys to take that with you today as you think about how you're performing at your job right now, as you're thinking about how do you interact with your managers at your job, who are the decision makers that you talk to every day, what are the various initiatives that you're coming up with, and how are you implementing those initiatives? Think about who's watching you. Think about who's watching, whether you're motivated, whether you're engaged, whether you're learning more than is necessary just to do your job day to day. Who are you reaching across the aisle to work with? How are your peers responding to you? How are customers responding to you? Think about all those things and just try to go out and just hit a 10 on all of those criteria and the others that apply to your job, so that when folks are watching you, they are imagining you doing a different job, right? A better job, a job that pays more. They're imagining, what would you do if you got promoted to the next higher position? What could she do at this other company that we work with? Those are really important matrices that people are judging you by. And most people are just going about their jobs every day. Whether they're getting by, I think that's probably an overstatement, but most people aren't going in and giving it a 10 out of 10 at every level, every single day, and going above and beyond, because they're just thinking about surviving in their current job rather than the eyeballs that might be on them, or the eyeballs that they want to attract to them every single day to think about what that next career move is going to be. It's going to be so much easier if you ultimately start thinking about, I want this promotion, I want to transition to this other group in my company, I want to transition to a completely different career. If the right eyeballs have already been on you, have already been seeing what you bring to the table, and if they're already, even on a subliminal level, thinking about you in that other position, just much easier for you once you actually come to that decision yourself. All right, guys, I hope that was a good tip for you. Hope that puts you in the right mindset to go out and just absolutely kill it today. Make sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss the next episode. And I will see you next time from the Office of the CEO.